Hello arcade gamers and welcome back to Biggie D's Arcade. Today I'm going to discuss the coming soon section of the Arcade1up official website. We had 3 new additions this week, 3 brand new announcements, and I wanted to cover these cabinets that are coming soon, give you my opinion on what I think about them, what we're getting, what the price will be, and when we can expect to purchase them. So let's start first with the Street Fighter II CE HS5 Deluxe arcade cabinet. This was announced at EVO just a few weeks ago, and it does have the same exact games lineup that we saw with the Street Fighter Yoga Flame, as well as the Shinku Hadouken Street Fighter cabinets released last year. So it is the same games lineup. So if you're a fan of Street Fighter, but you also like beat 'em up games, this is a terrific games lineup. I'm really happy with that. Now, other parts about this that I really like are going to be the form factor. It is a riserless design with a coin door. Also, you're getting a very unique game deck with this one. It's the slanted one, kind of similar to the Big Blue, but it does have an extension that comes out from the game deck, making it look more like the Dynamo design. And this results in a much more spacious game deck, giving you more room for your hands and for your wrists when you're playing. Very happy with that. Also, they've improved the marquee with this one. The marquee is a reverse printed marquee. It has the Street Fighter II CE logo on it, and the even distribution of light results in probably one of the best looking marquees to date. So if you've purchased Street Fighter in the past, there will be a lot of things to consider. No riser, coin door, better looking marquee. And then if you were a fan of the original Street Fighter CE Gen 1 cabinet, it looks very similar to that with the black side panels and that graphite concrete look on the bezel and the game deck. Very impressed with this one. I think it's a must buy if you've never purchased a Street Fighter before. It comes in at a price of $499 and it'll be available in early October. So let's go ahead and move on now to the next cabinet in the coming soon section, which is the Big Buck Hunter Pro Deluxe arcade cabinet. So one of the major complaints with this cabinet was the screen height, how short the cabinet was, as well as how small the screen was at only 17 inches. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but they haven't really improved the screen at all. It's still a 17-inch screen, so very small for a shooter. But they have, however, improved the height of the cabinet. It is a much taller design with this deluxe one, where it's going to give you a much increased or a much higher screen height. So if you're a tall person like me, you can benefit from that increased screen height. This is going to be a really good cabinet for you. Now, other than that, the only other additions that we're going to see is that this is a riserless design and it does have a coin door. Other than that, there's not really much difference. It's going to be the same 4 games we had on the previous Big Buck Hunter Pro, the same artwork, and unfortunately, no lit marquee. So yeah, I said it, there's no lit marquee with this one. Very disappointed in that. If you've purchased Big Buck Hunter Pro before, I would say the only reason to upgrade to this one would be the increased height, or maybe you're just really not a fan of the riser. The riserless design does look better. But other than that, there's not really much reason to upgrade. Or if you've never purchased Big Buck Hunter before, I would say this is probably, or it's definitely the best Big Buck Hunter Pro they've released yet. So it may be for you if you've never purchased before. It is coming in at a price of $599. It'll be available at Walmart as well as Best Buy. You can pre-order it now, and then it's going to ship at the end of September. So coming up here in about a month, you'll be able to receive the Big Buck Hunter Pro Deluxe. So now let's move on to a sports game, NBA Jam 30th Edition Deluxe Arcade Cabinet. This NBA Jam cabinet is essentially just like the Big Buck Pro, the same games lineup we saw with the previous NBA Jam cabinet. So you're not getting any additional games or a new experience as far as the gameplay. It's the same exact one as the NBA Jam and the NBA Jam Shaq Edition XL. Now, however, this is a completely redesigned arcade cabinet. Just like the other deluxes, this will have no riser. It will include a coin door. Since this is a 4-player game, you're going to get 4 coin slots, 2 coin doors. It will have a slanted game deck. What is pretty cool with this one is it's very similar to the NFL Blitz cabinet. If you like that slanted game deck on the 4 players, with that one, this is very similar to that Blitz cabinet. Also, it is going to have light up buttons, which a cool feature with the light up buttons with this one is you have the ability to turn them off. So if you like having them on while you're not playing, but you like turning them off while you are playing, you have that ability with this 30th edition or 30th Anniversary Deluxe Edition arcade cabinet. Now the side panels are going to reflect the first NBA Jam game. However, the game deck in the marquee is going to be the NBA Jam Tournament Edition artwork. So it's a little mixture of 2 games in this one. Half of it appearing or looking like NBA Jam Tournament Edition, especially from the front of the cabinet, and then on the sides appearing to look like the original NBA Jam arcade cabinet. Now again, like I said, no riser, no coin door. Is this enough to make you want to upgrade if you've already purchased one of the other NBA Jams? Not quite sure. You know, it is taller than the Gen 1 version, not quite as big or as bulky as the XL. So there is going to be a market for this one. Now, do I think personally it's worth upgrading? Probably not. You know, am I going to run out and buy it? Probably not. But I do think it does have a place and it will sell. And this one's going to come in at a price of $649. We did see a $50 coupon on it when it released. That's since expired. So you're looking at a price of $650. Unfortunately, pretty high price tag. It'll be available at Costco, possibly at other retailers, I would imagine. And we're also going to get a Partycade version of the NBA Jam 30th edition, Anniversary Edition as well. So very happy to see them sticking with NBA Jam. Definitely could have done some more things with this one, but I'm okay with what the final product was. And I think it will sell pretty well. And it will be, you know, popular in the stores. Let's move on next to probably the most anticipated cabinet. We've been waiting for over a year for this one, is the Time Crisis Deluxe Arcade1up cabinet. Now, of this holiday lineup of coming soon cabinets, like I said, the most anticipated is the Time Crisis. We've been waiting for a very long time for this cabinet to come. We've been seeing leaks for over a year, and we've been seeing the progress and development of this cabinet from when it first started. It has probably the most hype behind it of all the cabinets and probably the most demand. I mean, there's going to be a lot of pre-orders for this. There's going to be a lot of day one buyers. But also I've been seeing a lot of people in the community are very interested in waiting to see if this cabinet goes on sale, or maybe not even being interested in it at all because of some of the negatives. So let me go first with the positives of this cabinet, and then I'll kind of detail out a few of the negatives. So positives with this one is it is a new release. We have not seen a new release from Arcade1up in quite some time. So that is a very good thing. Now, this cabinet also is coming in at 70 inches, so it is the tallest Arcade1up cabinet to date. This is going to stand out in the game room. It's going to look very good. It also does, when compared to the original Time Crisis arcade cabinet, look very similar to that original arcade design and look. The side panels, the artwork is fantastic. There is no bleed. There is no loss of resolution. These side pieces or side panels look amazing. It looks almost like a painting on each side. So they did a very good job with that. Also, something I'm very impressed with is the marquee. This is a like jumbo premium looking marquee. It's got a very unique look to it. The acrylic piece that sits in the front of it actually has a bend to it where it bends inward towards the lower half, giving you like what looks like a red panel with some light that goes through that. And then the top half has a very bright and yellow marquee with the Time Crisis logo looking just like the original. Also, I like how they extended the logo out into the lower red half, making it appear and look more 3D. Now, some things that have been, I guess, negatives with this one and things early on that people have been unhappy with are going to be the 17-inch BOE screen. So just like the Big Buck Hunter Pro, this Time Crisis is going to suffer from a small screen, unfortunately, of 17 inches. Also, they've lowered the screen height with this one, so it's actually lower than the Big Buck Hunter Pro and much lower than the T2. So a little unhappy with that, being a taller person looking down at the screen. You know, how great of an experience is that going to be for me? Also, the game deck, I could say they've done a very good job with that. It is what they call a reverse waterfall deck, where you're going to have some images at the top half of it, which reflect the game and the instructions for that game. I think they did a very good job with that. And then you have a large outward extending piece with a flat area where you have your holsters for each gun. You have a red and a blue gun and your buttons out on the game deck. So I think they did a really good job with that. And again, like the Street Fighter Champion Edition HS5 Deluxe, this game deck extends quite a bit outward, making it a very deep cabinet design. So that I think they did really well with. Again, this is a deluxe, so it is going to be a riserless design with a coin door. And another negative, so I'll throw one more negative out there, is going to be the recoil in the guns. So it is not utilizing a solenoid for the vibration and the recoil in the gun. It's actually just using the trigger. So you're actually pulling the trigger, and that's activating the recoil. Now, we've learned with the early review unit that Kongs R Us has that can get tiresome after a period of time. There is some fatigue in the finger after playing the game for a little while. So we're noticing some users are going to be turning that off. There is a button on the back end of the gun where you can actually flip a switch and turn the recoil completely off. But then you lose the vibration in the gun, you lose the sound, and you lose a lot of that experience. Now, many hoped that we could use the T2 guns and use the solenoid in that. The T2 guns do work with the Time Crisis, but they don't work with the solenoid, so you're not getting any recoil. So again, you're losing experience. One thing I would like to see from Arcade1up is for them to release an update, either allowing us to use the T2 gun with the solenoid or allowing us to use our own bring your own gun, where we can purchase a sending gun directly from the sending company, plug that in, and make it work and be compatible with the Time Crisis cabinet. I think that is the major solution right there. The easiest solution is for them to just allow us to bring our own gun. That way, it's just like the AT games, and they're kind of getting into that territory where they're allowing us to use our own equipment. I think that's kind of the future with these home arcades, and something I would like to see Arcade1up do. And they could easily do it through an update with the Time Crisis cabinet. I don't think they'll do that, but I'm throwing it out there because I think it would be well received and something that would help with the sell of it. Now, it does come in at a very high price. This is coming in at a price of $750, so very high. And a lot of people are reluctant to purchase this cabinet at that high of a price tag. So will it go on sale before the holiday season? You know, Black Friday, will we see a deal on this? I think so. But I am very interested in it of the coming soon. This is probably the one I'm most interested in. So let's move on next. I want to get into the Atari 50th anniversary cabinet. This is definitely an ugly looking cabinet, not one that I'm happy with. So let's get into it. Next up is the Atari 50th Anniversary Arcade1up Deluxe cabinet. This is a very unique cabinet. It's got over 64 games. Yes, I said 64 games. So 14 of these are going to be the Tempest lineup. So if you've seen the Arcade1up Tempest Legacy Edition cabinet, it comes with those 14 games. And then it also comes with 50 2600 Atari games. So a total of 64 with this one. But again, like I just mentioned, it is by far the ugliest looking cabinet I've ever seen. It's atrocious. I mean, it's some of the worst artwork I've seen yet by Arcade1up. It's a black looking cabinet with a huge yellow Atari logo on it. And then it's got a bunch of 50s on it, which are supposed to reflect the 50th anniversary. However, they put it on the side panel, they put it on the kick plate, they put it on the game deck, on the screen when it loads up, also on the marquee. It just way too many 50s on this one, and it really ruins the look of the cabinet. I'm very disappointed with that. But it does have a decent looking game deck. You're going to get your spinner, your trackball, all your controls that you need for these games, as well as some light up buttons. It is the deluxe form factor cabinet, so it's a pretty tall design. It's got no riser and a coin door. Would someone be interested in this, maybe reskinning it? I think so. It's got the same game lineup, like I said, of the Tempest. You're getting 50 2600 games. You could simply reskin this one with, like, let's say Asteroids. If you were to do Asteroids, I think it would look very similar to the original cabinet, very close to that one, if you could reskin it with Asteroids. But if you're planning on keeping this one stock, I mean, you would just have to be a really big fan of that artwork. I don't think many out there are. So you could probably find a deal on this one. It's $499. That's the price if you were to pre-order or purchase it this week. But if you're looking for a deal, I would say wait it out. Wait till November, December, or even after Christmas. I don't think this one's going to sell very well with how bad it looks. So I think you could probably get a pretty good deal on it here in like 3 or 4 months. So not much to say about this one. Like I said, it's just not a very good looking cabinet. It's got a decent games lineup. You're getting a lot of games. But again, it's a lot to overlook with how bad this one looks. But let's go ahead and let's move on to the final product on the coming soon page of the Arcade1up website. And that is going to be the Galaga Deluxe Arcade1up cabinet. So this is just like the Deluxe Pac-Man and the Deluxe Class of 81. So if you were a fan of that form factor and that design with the slanted screen, the riserless cabinet, with a coin door, this is going to be a great cabinet for you. Of all the early 80s Namco games, I would say Galaga is my favorite. I also do think it has the best looking artwork of all of them. So this would probably be the one that I'm most interested in. And I keep hearing, if you're going to play Pac-Man or if you're going to be playing Galaga, this is the way to play it with this slanted style screen. So this is a very good buy, I think. This is going to do very well in the stores, just like Pac-Man, just like any of the others, Class of 81, Miss Pac-Man, all those do really well in Walmart's, Best Buys, these large retailers. So I don't think they could go wrong with Galaga. I did see this one coming. I think many did out there. It was either going to be Dig Dug or Galaga, and I think Galaga is going to win out. It's the more popular of those two, and people prefer that artwork, it seems. So happy with this one. BOE screen. 17 inches isn't too bad of a problem with the, we're getting a vertical screen, so not too bad here. Looks good, like it. It's $499. You can get it at Best Buy, probably many other retailers as well. This one's not going to be hard to find. And again, just like Atari 50th, I think there's going to be a lot of these in circulation at a lot of retailers, and I think you could probably get a pretty good deal coming up in Black Friday, around Christmas time, and maybe possibly after Christmas. So if you're a shopper, you're looking for a deal, this would be a good one to look out for here in a few months. But at $499, I still think it's a fair and decent buy. So you guys let me know out there, of these cabinets we've discussed today, which ones do you like? Which ones do you not like? What improvements would you like to see Arcade1up do with future versions of these cabinets? And if you've never subscribed to Biggie D's Arcade, definitely hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see everyone in the next video. Bye-bye.